So I did have another question that I just thought of. So I know that sometimes people use different things. So I know that sometimes the finger is used. I
Mm-hmm.
know that sometimes the light bar is used, and sometimes there's like buzzer tapper things. So how do you do that online?
Yes. So there's different website options. So some of it, like you mentioned, going back and forth across the screen. So a therapist could choose to have the client follow their finger. There's websites where something goes back and forth across the screen, left to right, and it's about bilateral, the back and forth motion. Some of it could be auditory back and forth, and as well as a client can, with the therapist direction, self-administer tapping left and right, and it could look different ways. So there's a lot of power and there's a lot of empowerment and choice for the client to choose. So I've had clients who maybe said, yeah, I want to do it this way, and then they just kind of noticed what made them feel more comfortable, and then they changed and shifted. And so that's really good for clients to feel like they have a say, because the therapy is for them and the things that they're working through. So I like to give them the options that they can pick.
Okay, great. That's so interesting to me. Just the whole concept is really, really interesting to me. I know personally that EMDR is extremely effective. I know from, friends and family members that have also done EMDR, how much it's helped them and changed, their lives, honestly. So it's really cool to be talking
Definitely.
to you about that. And I'm grateful that we're able to still access this service, despite this present circumstances.
Yeah.
So what about drawbacks? Have you faced any drawbacks?
Yeah, so sometimes it's just a client preference. Some people don't prefer it online. And some of that, they are a little bit resistant, and that's okay. So we're not going to push them for something that they don't feel comfortable with. So, they may say, I just want to see how sessions are, just talking. And so then they feel a little bit more comfortable, whether it's with the technology, the distance, things like that. So also technology still being developed and modified, and internet reliability. So now that a lot of people are home and their kids are home, they're using it for work, for schoolwork, things like that. So internet reliability can sometimes be an issue, but there's ways around that sometimes, just saying, okay, for this hour, I'm going to be online, so I need you kids to be doing schoolwork at this point. And so that way it's not pulling the internet bandwidth and causing any issues with technology or with internet reliability.
Okay, so as far as feedback goes, what type of feedback have you received from your clients?
So some of it, they are surprised at like how they still have the connection in therapy with me. And sometimes they've even said like that they may want to continue online even after quarantine is lifted, or the pandemic passes. And because of convenience, because of time, money, different things like that. And it has changed a lot obviously in lots of different ways, but it changes a lot now that clients know that they have that option and that they've experienced the effectiveness of it, and kind of even enjoyed it sometimes.
Okay, great. Yeah. So at this point, I just want to ask you this. So I'm sure you've seen clients. I'm sure you've been having a lot of people ask you. So if you had to give somebody one piece of advice for what's going on right now in our world, in our society, with having to stay home and being kind of cooped up, what would you tell them? One thing.
That is a really good question, because there's like so many things. Probably to take it one day at a time, even one moment sometimes, because from moment to moment, something may be really frustrating. And then the next moment, your family member that you're stuck in the house with 24/7 does something, and it just makes you laugh. And it's okay to laugh, and it's okay to cry, and to experience those feelings, the highs and the lows. And so just taking it one day at a time, because when we look too far ahead, sometimes we get really tripped up and we forget who and what is in front of us, and appreciating those things in life.
So true. So true. Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for your time today. I'm also going to post your website down below on the screen. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about EMDR, you can visit Rebecca's website, and I'll have that information for you. Again, thank you so much for your time and your information.
Thank you, Sarah.